Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's edition of the Just Us Review. We like to take our favorite fiction-based shows, even superhero shows, break them down and give you guys that knit and that grit. And today we got to feature The Flash and Black Lightning. Those were the two shows that stood out this week because the rest of them, hate to say it, are pure garbage.
Sorry, you hate to say a damn thing.
Sorry, Batwoman, not sorry. Let's go. So we about to rock it off into Central City, and in this week's episode of Flash, it was dumb. So basically, the Flash, Barry Allen, saw something pretty and went to go follow it. So today, it was nothing but an Iris West TV show, the detective series, the Nancy Don't. So,
I will give everyone a caveat just in case you didn't know. Grant Gustin was filming Crisis when this episode was being filmed, which is why he's scattered out through. That's all I gotta say.
He didn't even put the suit on this episode.
They didn't even. No, he put the suit on in the intro.
Yeah, okay.
But they didn't even try. It was like, Oliver, let's be a mask. That means the world's in trouble. What the fuck? How did you make that leap? Like, it was like, Diggle showed up, it was like, Oliver left you this mask in the wheel. Oh my God, he gave me something. Corona is real.
I'm gonna say something, and you are right to mock that because I felt like this was the weakest part of the show, even though it wasn't on screen for as long. But like, it just goes to show that we are how many seasons deep?
6.
And people still need to candy Barry's ass.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like
even Diggle.
Like, I'm mad that Diggle went from pampering Oliver to now pampering Barry.
Yeah.
I will say this is a minor bright spot. I thought it was funny when they was about to go to Lian Yu and he wanted to run him across and Diggle took those pills and he took a whole bunch and Barry was like, that's too much. And then he was like, alright, do me up.
You're gonna die. So that was the entire B plot. So let's get to the main part of the A plot, which is Iris Detective Mysteries.
Okay, first, before we get into that, we gotta talk about some things at the beginning. We gotta talk about Cisco and that beginning with the whole where he's talking about post-crisis. So, okay, I will say this. This is another positive I have about this episode. This episode is comic book centric for me. I caught a lot of references, and not just at this beginning part, throughout the show. But it's the Flash, so they messed them up. So y'all remember the map? They show a map because Cisco is freaking out about how it's post-crisis, all the worlds are together, and he shows a map of all the different places. And you see the typical places. You see Central City, you see Supergirl's world, you see Black Lightning's place, you see Gotham, you see Metropolis, but then you see places like Santa Prisca. But let me tell you where they fucked up. They had Gotham around the Chicago area, and they had Metropolis in New York. You gotta switch them, homie. The whole point about Metropolis being in the Midwest is because it's not that far from Smallville, fucking Kansas. Yeah. And Gotham is New York because historically, like way back in the day, New York City used to be called Gotham City. And that fucking Freeland, which is supposed to be in Atlanta, was in fucking North Carolina. I'm like, you too far north.
You taking your shirt off. We ain't made the location. You know another thing that pissed me off about that map? Mm-hmm. Metropolis is down the goddamn street.
Exactly.
So all the shit that go down in Freeland and Superman is right I can understand it if it was further away like it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
In North fucking Carolina, which we know that we saw a map of Black Lightning that said Freeland, Georgia. I'm like, come
and it was
on.
way north.
Like, but of course, we gotta say this: the show's not talking to each other.
And then I know this is probably jumping ahead a lot, but the whole map shit and the cards that Cisco showed, because another thing Cisco's mad about is now there's a whole new crop of metas of villains.
Tag me in real quick. So basically, when the worlds merge, we lost some people, and some people actually got added. So during this timeline where everything kept in order, Cisco actually cataloged unknowingly all the villains that we've ever met. Go.
Okay, so here's the thing. Skipping to the end with the Cisco plot. Cisco leaves the show because he's decided that he should travel the world and catalog all the changes to Crisis that people don't remember, even though like it seems like fucking everybody remembers. But here's why I think that's fucking dumb.
Why does it matter?
Exactly. Not only that, but
How would he know what the world was like before?
because apparently he knows. Because he throughout the whole episode you get the implication that he knows. But my thing is, you already fucking cataloged it. You got a whole list of metas.
This is another reason why it's fucking dumb. One, we already know the actor who plays Cisco wants to leave the show. He's already stated it, and this is pretty much his exit away from it. He's going to go do some shit and maybe pop up a few episodes here and there. This is their way of saying, all right, go do your thing. Would eventually bring him back later. Now, this is why it's fucking dumb. You would say the easy way to do that? If you have your fucking breach powers. Now they made it very convenient that he can't use his breach because the worlds act differently now.
Mm-hmm.
And his breach technology won't work the same. And I'm thinking,
Because there's not a multiverse, or they don't know that there's not a multiverse anymore, so he can't use his breach power.
Wait.
Because the way his breach powers, according to them, according to this episode, his breach powers are contingent on there being a multiverse.
which is fucking stupid because we've seen him use his breach powers just to
the
go
same
down the street.
universe,
In
right.
the same, exactly. So my thing is, we've seen you create a fucking cure for cancer in less than 30 minutes, but you can't adjust the frequency of your breach.
It shouldn't.
I know, it hurts. But and then there's another thing. Cisco is also keep blaming Nash for Crisis. When everybody knows it was the fucking monitor.
So hold on. I'm a push back a little bit on that. We know it was the monitor. That I'm not arguing over.
Okay.
He's wrong for that. But Nash is a dick. And he honestly has no reason to be there except to slob on that girl, who I'm pretty sure is underage. So you're a fucking rapist. And yeah, I would be.
I'm sure it's not his daughter.
No,
I don't-
that was the indication at the end, which that also doesn't fucking work because you're not from this earth.
Well,
And that's not the same girl.
She's a doppelganger of his daughter. I'm thinking.
No.
I'm glad you said. What'd you say that Nash was? You say he was useless, right?
Yes.
Which brings me to another point about this episode. Caitlyn or Killer Frost. Both of them are fucking useless in this show. Also, what's her name? Nash is useless, and I'm sorry, Cisco photography girlfriend serves no purpose either.
Yeah, the only purpose they serve is to make Iris's news.
To boost Iris up, so here's the thing. I'm gonna push back on that a little bit.
Go for it.
Because I think the point of this episode was to pump up those extra characters. Because of the fact that it was Iris-centric, and now it seems like she's built her own little team off to the side where they do this reporting shit. Because you have her, you got Cisco's girlfriend that do the photography. Then you have the Hispanic chick
That don't use her powers.
that Nash is slobbing over, and then you got Cecile. So here's my thing: would you rather those four be fucking with that over there, or would you rather have Iris being Team Flash leader? because that is an issue.
Say your ass over there.
Yeah, that is an issue that everyone had. So
But here's another thing that
And if I have to put another positive out there, I did think centering Iris doing the job she's actually was supposed to be doing years ago and having a separate career and not trying to be within the Flash's shit works better. If this was some Lois Lane shit, I could have seen it. my only issue is around a fucking blog. And
But here's another thing. So basically, she started a newspaper, right?
yeah.
So why is it that they're so happy that the article got over 100,000 hits on the internet if they're trying to start a newspaper? But you know what? So the main plot of the story is Iris finds a dirty company and she tries to out them out to the media and find dirt on them. Now, what I didn't like about this episode was, I know you guys have heard the term plot armor.
Mm-hmm.
This episode shows the purest definition of what plot armor is. Mm-hmm. Plot armor is no matter what situation, you can make it out. Now, the meta of this episode, you focuses her energy into this gun. Mm-hmm. That if it hits you, it disintegrates you.
By the way, the meta of this episode, this is another comic book thing I wanted to get into. I thought this was interesting. So the meta of this episode is Kimio Hoshi. She is Dr. Light. She's the superhero Dr. Light. In the comics, she was actually introduced in Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I think it's interesting that as a throwback to her introduction, she comes into the first post-Crisis episode of Flash. What I didn't like was they made her a villain.
Well, you know why they did that.
So now the company has hired this hitman to take out Iris, Hitwoman. And she is apparently one of the deadliest hit people out there, but for some reason can't hit a woman running in heels. So pinpoint accuracy, because she had this undercover what's the thing that they have? She had the source. So she went to go talk to her source, was giving her dirt on the company. The sniper took him out like it wasn't nothing. Mm-hmm. Iris,
when she shoots you with her powers and kills you, like, you fucking disintegrate, you turn into dust.
So Iris sees this and runs behind the car. Right. They shoot the car. The car should disintegrate, but it doesn't.
A tire got flat.
She is able to get inside the car and speed off and escape because this assassin sucks. But the assassin shoots her in the arm. Mm-hmm. She doesn't disintegrate. Her shirt just gets burned.
Mm-hmm. And they made a whole big deal about, and the reason why that's really fucked up is because later in the episode, they make a whole big deal about she shoots Caitlin, Frost. She shoots Frost, and the bullet is stuck in Frost's body, and it's disintegrating her shoulder.
Slowly.
Yeah.
And she's able to freeze it and take it out.
Okay.
Well, my thing is, thus making Killer Frost useless. So, because at the end of it, they set a trap for her. Joe West and Killer Frost show up and corner her. She like, fuck you guys, I'm an assassin. And takes out Joe, shoots Killer Frost, and is about to shoot her in the head. But Iris goes to the company and is like, look, if you kill anybody in my family, I'm going to take all the information that I have and expose you. Sid, let me tell you why that's fucking stupid. Can I tell you why that's dumb? First of all, the company already killed her source. Mm-hmm. So there's nobody to corroborate anything she puts out. Mm-hmm. Second of all of it was conjecture. Even Cecile said you have no evidence backing any of this. Mm-hmm. So why not just fucking kill Joe, kill Killer Frost, and tell Iris to go to have fun at her funerals?
Second comic book thing I wanted to bring up. The guy that ran the company, I looked him up. He is a Flash character. He doesn't have a superhero name or villain name or anything like that. But in the comics, he worked for that secret organization called Black Hole. He worked for Black Hole, and he was fucking around with the Speed Force, and it turned him into a monster.
So Black Hole is a thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
this
could have it was easily before the name drop, I was waiting on them to be like Spiral.
Yeah, I thought it was
Spiral
too.
Spiral, Black Hole. What the fuck is Black Hole?
Yeah, I looked up Black Hole because I'm like, is this just coming out of their ass? So I looked it up, and that guy was there, and I was like, oh, okay.
But there was one shiny nugget in this shit. Joe West finally came back because Iris was in the hospital, and he was like, Dad, what you want me to do? You want me to quit? He's like, no, I want you to be smart, bitch.
Exactly.
You just ran up into a major corporation to the CEO and said, I have dirt on you.
Exactly. Why would you do that?
Even though you know they've killed people in the past.
Right.
You know they got bodies on them. You just basically walked in there and put a target on you.
Right.
And you know what's fucked up? She didn't learn the lesson. She didn't learn the lesson.
Went
because-
and did it
And do
again.
you know why? Because it goes back to that plot armor thing you said. Because literally Joe West says you can't topple an entire evil organization that's been embedded in the city for 8 years in one night. And what happens? She topples an entire evil villainous organization in one night.
Now here's another dumb point. So her source, who she was meeting with, dies. Now if I'm dying, what would my last words be? What would your last words? If somebody shot me in the chest, what would your last? If I shot you in the chest, what would your last words be?
Oh shit.
His was mirror. Now you just got shot. Your body's disintegrating, and your last words is mirror. Now, for whatever reason, Iris took that as take the words on a door and use a mirror to reflect them. That way,
it was very flimsy.
it was so thin.
Yeah, it was very.
It was super fucking thin. It's like mirror, what the fuck? And basically the dude, the guy I told you about in the comics who fucked with the Speed Force, his wife disappeared or died or whatever some years ago. Let's just cut to the chase because this is the third comic book fact. They're doing Mirror Master. Now I know what you're saying. They already did Mirror Master,
did.
but in the comics there's multiple Mirror Masters. This is the first one. Except they're gender bending because in the comics his name was Evan McCullough. This chick's name is Ava McCullough. She's in the mirror world, and Iris is trapped in the mirror world.
That was
now.
my favorite part. When
Yeah.
when that bitch got snatched up into the mirror
It's
world.
actually fucking hilarious because it reminded me of, and see, y'all don't remember because Christian brought this up last week. In the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, there's an episode where Green Goblin found out who Peter Parker was. And because they can't kill Mary Jane the way they did Gwen Stacy, Green Goblin had this portal device. And that's how he found out who Peter Parker was. He was going in and out of portals, and he just snuck up on him. They get into a fight. The portal device falls off a bridge. Mary Jane gets knocked off a bridge, and the portal device makes a portal, and she falls into the portal. And for the rest of the series, and I shit you not, they never find Mary Jane. The rest of the series, Mary Jane is stuck in the portal world. That's what this shit reminded me of.
So, honestly, this was a snooze fest. Like I said, they blew their load for Crisis.
Yeah.
And now after Crisis, they don't know what to do. They're like, well, I guess we can poke around to the point where Cisco's leaving the show. And you know what? I think they did that because Nash, him and Nash no longer, him and the Whales no longer jive together.
Yeah,
no more.
because that's the other thing that's the other thing that it wasn't a revelation, but it was kind of a realization in the sense that going forward, this is our only Wells. Cause the multiverse doesn't, yeah. Because Cisco and Nash weren't vibing, and then
Nash is a
and then finally Cisco came out and he was like, because of you, all the Wells are gone, and we're stuck with you.
Because apparently Jesse Quick and the other Wells from the other Earth is dead.
Yeah, we knew that.
They never got brought
They
back.
died on Arrow.
But let's get everything straight. The Monitor did that because he fucked with some shit he had no reason to fuck with.
So there are no more doppelgangers anywhere.
No other universes, no other Wells.
Okay.
Apparently.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
There are other, and that's why, and this is what I was gonna get to about the Cisco not being able to use his powers. That's bullshit because we see that a new multiverse was made at the end of Crisis. You telling me you can't feel that or sense that? Because the way they explained that he still has his powers, he just can't use them because according to him, there's no multiverse for them to attune to. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
So all in all, like I said, the writers gave up. It is clearly evident that they don't give a shit anymore. You know what? I reached the conclusion after watching this episode. I don't give a fuck either. I think I'm gonna give it one more episode, and after that, I'm done with Flash. And we can start. And you know what? That's actually a plus because then we can start covering other stuff like the Harley Quinn series. We can start covering like anything other than this shit.
I heard that Stargirl's coming.
Stargirls,
Exactly.
the Titans is coming back.
Exactly.
Mandalorian has a new season. Her fucking
WandaVision.
WandaVision. We can bring you guys.
WandaVision.
So
December, but like Falcon Winter Soldier, that shit is in like August.
We're the
Loki
ju-
shit is in October.
we're
like,
the Just Us review. We review everything.
like the sky's the limit, baby, but not with Flash. You get one more.
Like, seriously, if next week is even worse, I don't care.
Quick question: what did Barry find that Oliver?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. He
Nothing.
wasted people's
He
time.
found an empty box. And Diggle was like, I'm sorry, Barry, let me tell you how.
I
Because
can see
the
how
whole
you could
point.
get them mixed up
Yeah.
because both of them needed their dicks handled.
So Barry was like, I did spectral analysis on Oliver's mask, and there's Mirakuru on it. Maybe he wanted us to go
To Liam, you.
Lian and get some Mirakuru that was left over there,
How the
so they
fuck would
get
he-
over
How the
there.
fuck would he even know that in this new Earth?
Exactly. So they get over there, and there's
He
no.
retains the old memories. I guess.
No. Like, why would, if he retained the old memories, why would he think that there's still Mirakuru there? Wouldn't Diggle also know because he's been there recently too? But you know what? I want to let that go. Let me tell you why this is dumb. You're a fucking speedster. It'll take you 5 minutes to go to Liam U, find what you're looking for, and get the fuck back.
Like, do a lap on an
Well,
island.
in that scene, he said, "I searched Lee and you dozens of times. I don't get it. This is all I found."
So here's my thing.
And Diggle told him, he was like, "Here's the thing, Barry. Did you watch that episode of Arrow when Mia and Oliver went to Liam U and Fall Flay?
That's how-
That's where that happened from. See, you didn't watch that one. I can understand. Arrow sucked."
and that's how the Mirakuru got on the map. But again, no,
We not. You
lift
get the
your
fuck
hand.
up.
you get on.
Because I wouldn't even exaggerate. He was like, "Did you see that episode where they went to Lee and you?"
So they spent an entire to go figure some shit out that happened 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, exactly.
That Diggle already knew. Well, say it. Get your hand on.
You gotta blame Diggle too because he let this shit happen
Exactly.
instead of telling him, dog.
No, this is what I'm getting at. He's a fucking speedster.
Yeah.
This should have taken 5 minutes. Why did it take a whole fucking episode? But you know what? I'm done shitting in this bucket. Let's go to something else.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Alright, we charged up now, so you know what that means. It's time to cruise into this week's episode of Black Lightning. Now, there's a lot going on, and Markovians have made their move. They got Lynn, y'all.
Yeah.
Lynn and Tobias.
They got Lynn and Tobias.
Oh, no.
and conveniently left that white man behind.
Oh hell yeah, that's right.
But before we get started with this discussion, I gotta say one thing. This might have been one of my favorite episodes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like a
There
lot.
were so many high notes in this.
There-
I found my favorite character.
And as a comic book guy, I have so many references to ask you about. Actually, both of you, these are our comic book experts.
So first off, I would like to say one of the first things Jefferson said
The
was,
very first thing.
"We got 2 outsiders in the cave."
Now, wait a second. Now, for those who are listening and missed a couple episodes when we talked about this, who are the outsiders?
The outsiders. Do you mean like in general?
In general.
The outsiders in the comics, they were a team of superheroes. Some of them were specifically created by Batman. They were formed together by Batman because Batman was like, the League don't do what I needed to do. So I'm gonna form a team of heroes. 2 members of the Outsiders, Metamorpho and Black Lightning, were the first 2 superheroes to ever turn down membership in the Justice League. Justice League came to them, they was like, throw that shit in your face, we don't want it. And Batman was like, alright, but I still need y'all. We gonna do some rough shit. Come with me. And the Outsiders were formed.
Now, this is very critical because we started to see the I don't want to call it the cave.
Is it?
The lighthouse. The lighthouse is starting.
I like that.
It's starting to be filled with all these metas. And what's so special about all these metas that they filled up with?
Pretty much everyone everyone in the cave right now, except for Jen, has been a member of the Outsiders at one point or another.
And the way that the group was formed, this is why I love Black Lightning. The group was formed so organically that when they came together, like, I haven't felt this way since Avengers.
Exactly.
So when they finally hooked up, that was like, yeah, so this is what's going on in the episode. Lynn has been kidnapped. Now they're trying to get a party together to go get her. They've also
This is the Rescue Lynn arc.
Yeah.
now, with that being said, they now have Khalil's body. Techno Crag has already informed them that Khalil is stuck in there. That's the other part of the story. Now the latter part of the story is Lynn is dealing with addiction, and I'm going to turn that over.
Okay, so I would just like to say something like at the beginning of the episode with Dr. J, and she had like a list of 5 ways to be a person.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, this shit came out of nowhere because like, you've been on the season, you've been on the show an entire fucking season, and now we learned that you're like autistic or whatever. the fuck is wrong with you.
She's a sociopath.
But it adds a layer to that character that I like because like it
I want to
it makes this character it forms this character so that when we see Lynn we can start making comparisons.
Yeah.
The problem is we can't make comparisons when Lynn is in the state she's in.
Now, Lynn is suffering through withdrawal because of the addiction to her green light. Now, one thing that popped out with this episode,
and I do want to talk about that too because I felt like that was a weak point as well.
But wait a second. Well, I gotta talk about this because this is one of the highlights.
The way that the scene, you got to set it up though, because
So-
the way the scene's transition, that was comedic.
So Lynn, so she comes in. I'm going to make her my friend, and Lynn, they meet.
And I'm just thinking,
you hear it before you see it. You bitch!
she got +4 strength.
I don't know what fighting style Lynn uses, but it's all backhand. I'm dead serious. It was all like, it was all backhand.
What I love is that she even put her hip into it.
Exactly.
So she beat the shit. Like the head Markovia dude had to come in and
Molson, his name is Molson.
Molson.
The reason I know because he's my favorite character.
he's my favorite character too.
and I'm about to tell you why.
But hold on, wait a second. So Molson comes in and he stops her. And he's like, "Look, I'm gonna need you not to kill this bitch." But Molson, like I
Tell it. What did he do?
Well, you tell him. 'Cause
So
this is your
he
thing.
comes in and Lynn starts talking this shit about I can't make the thing, and he's like, "You stupid bitch! Don't you realize that the reason you a fucking drug addict? No, he dropped the bomb that she's a drug addict, and Lynn is like, no, I'm not. Fuck you.
Not true.
And he's like, yes, it is. Odell is a goddamn liar. He drugged your wine with green light and then used subliminal messages to tell you to make the shit. So, let's repeat. She is not in her right mind when she does the shit she does.
Still her fault.
No, it's not.
She a grown woman.
So here's the thing. He calls out how stupid this plot is.
Thank you. What's his name? Sorry, what's his name?
Molson.
Molson.
Like, first of all, why would you? I've been having difficulty trying to explain why this plot point is so dumb to me, but I think it doesn't make sense when you can tell someone to make a drug that makes you... It's like you're trying to predict what's happening, like you read the script of the story, but you couldn't have read the script of the story because you're not smarter than Lynn. It's like they're saying, let's make Lynn make a drug that's going to boost her brain power, and then it didn't even work.
Well, it worked in certain capacities, but I gotta say this. I'm gonna keep fucking up his name. Sorry.
Molson.
Molson. I love as an enemy because I don't even see him as a bad guy.
Exactly.
I just see him as somebody who's trying to get something done to protect his country from potentially ours.
So here's the thing. You don't see Molson as a bad guy because they went into, it wasn't too much depth, but they pretty much straight up said, look, our country harbors metahumans, and because of that, we try to make sure that they have a safe haven. The only reason we need that drug is because our metahumans act up. When they did what they did, when they kidnapped Lynn, that was out of desperation.
And let's be real, he could be lying.
Yeah,
But I mean, like he clearly could be lying. But the thing is, this whole season we've seen Odell in all of his glory.
and we've
as
only
it were.
heard one side of the story.
Exactly. And like honestly, like
So they could be pulling the scrolls like Captain Marvel kind of shit.
exactly.
Mhm.
And honestly, like, so here's the thing: we've seen all of Odell, and we see why Odell. He's fucking incompetent. I just gotta say it. It does not make sense that he puts his golden goose on drugs, and then like it backfires on him like
I'm gonna
that.
borrow your word. He's a weenus. So right now, the team is starting to come together, and now we go off to Anissa's side of the story, where she meets up with Grace Choi, and her.
You mean that salacious padding?
I love that padding because not only I get that it was padding, but
I didn't say it was bad. I just said it was padding.
So in this situation, Grace is like, I want to go on a mission with you because I love you and I want to protect you.
Because last week she was all like, "Oh, I'm over that shit.
So-
I can control it now."
A fight breaks out. Well, not a fight. They test each other's martial arts, which, by the way, was amazing. The fight choreography in this was ridiculous.
It was okay.
And
You know what else was amazing?
Some of that corset she was wearing.
And
that unnecessary corset.
but one of the reasons why I like this padding is because, like I said, whether it's two men or two women or a man and a woman, this just showed a relationship.
Yeah.
And it just showed two people caring about each other and their well-being. It wasn't trying to send a message. It wasn't trying to, stand on a soapbox. It was, I care about you, and this is the reason.
It was a fun piece of candy in the middle of a serious situation.
And it was awesome. So now Grace Choi is part of the team now, which we've been waiting for. And now we get to the part with Khalil. Technocrat figures out that Khalil's brain, there's the version of his painkiller, the killer version, that's preventing him, his real version, from coming out. So now they're trying to incept Khalil to bring him out. So all this goes down. Gambi is like trying to warn her, but she's like, okay, cool, that's okay, we can do it. They go inside his brain to get him.
So, by the way, Jennifer was fucking inseparable.
So, that was the one drawback of this episode.
Yeah, like, and I say this considering we haven't talked about the last part of the episode, which I thought was what was like the cherry on top of this episode, but like the shit at the beginning is like, sit the fuck down.
Like, this dude is trying to. So what he's talking about? Okay, when
Jennifer wants all the answers right now.
and
And she thinks she's owed them.
there's so much shit going around. Nobody has the time to stop and tell Jennifer everything, and she feels like she's entitled to this
They
information.
got pissed when
And what was so funny about it, she was like, so everybody knew Khalil was alive but me. Well, you probably would have known too if you hadn't went off on time.
Never stayed in the house.
Exactly.
Whenever they tried to reach out to her, she was always on the Odell mission. Now, with that
Or
said,
hanging out with Silky
exactly,
Smooth.
and let's not forget, like she hid the fact that she was a fucking murderer.
so with all this going on, Technocrag is there literally trying to help Khalil, and she's threatening him. Which at that point I would be like, fuck your boyfriend, go buy a vibrator.
Exactly.
So they go inside. Technocrat is like, okay, cool, I'm gonna guide you to him, and they find Khalil, who thinks he's dead inside of his own mind. And Jennifer's able to walk him back. Now, as he's walking him back, the painkiller killer version shows him like, look, without me, you ain't shit but a weakling. As a matter of fact, let me show you what you did. And then shows him a vision of everything that he did while he was being possessed.
Including killing his mom.
Which broke, and I love this scene
Yeah.
for the sure fact of the sadness, because like it broke him down.
Mhm.
Like you saw the vulnerability and the fragility in him, because he's like, I don't deserve to go back.
Yeah, all the Khalil stuff was great.
Like it was
like I can say that just in general, this character, Among Us evolved because let's be
He
real.
went from fuck this dude to
Yeah,
got level.
He's the most
He went from Nelly Jr.
Yeah.
to Khalil.
like he's the most developed, well-written character the series has put on there. Like they did a good job with this
Like
character.
they literally killed this dude
Exactly.
and then gave him a new character.
So we're gonna put a pinhole in that one because that one's gonna lead towards the end. Now let's get over to the other teammates. Geodude learns that not only is Lynn being kidnapped, but Jace is there, so you know he's ready to fight.
He's like, oh, I'm going to Markovia.
And Black Lightning is like, I don't want to be responsible for this kid. I don't want to take him with me. He's an outsider. Weak. He's like, why do I need to take him? He's a stranger. And Jen, without provocation, shocks the shit out of him. And Geodude is like, yo, you got any more of that?
And then Gamby stepped in and said, "I'm going too."
So Gamby,
So, I got something about this.
This
scene.
motherfucker
So,
Gabby was packing bags and
There's something I
shit.
want to say about this scene. So Gabby was like, Black Light is like, I'm sorry. So Jefferson was like, all right, got the team, we're gonna roll out. Gabby's like, no, without me, you not. And Jefferson was like, I thought you was just gonna stay over on this side, you know, run comms and do the computer stuff. And he started speaking Markovia. Don't
Jiggy
shoot that. The look on Jefferson's face.
Yeah, you wrong.
Shit, bro. That's all you had to say.
He's like, you didn't tell me you got the cheat codes?
Exactly.
Get your ass to the car, boy. Well, I'm like, no, but before he started speaking Markovia, the way with the look on his face, when Jefferson's like, nah, you not go. He's like, bitch, I'm a hitter.
Exactly.
You need to not go.
He don't know this.
I
When
got
Jefferson
one.
came back to tell them they was going to Markovia, Gabby was packing bags. He was showing TV. He was like, so see, these the socks you wear when a player got to play. He gonna put these there for Saturday night.
Here's the part that I'm pretty sure y'all noticed, but then when the doors opened and you saw all the guns on the wall.
The Gat Cave.
The Gat Cave in the lighthouse. So, yeah, he was in the room shopping. So now the team is assembling and everybody's together and they're trying to give the mission statement of what's going on. And
Well,
it's like,
first we got to introduce that they met up with
Buffalo Cow.
Buffalo Gal showed up.
Buffalo Gal came in trying to spit orders, but she also brought with her another meta. Go.
I don't know this bitch.
So I don't know this bitch shows up. And apparently
Looked her up, couldn't find her.
So apparently she has the ability to absorb kinetic energy and dispel it, kind of like Black Panther. So she joins the team, but there's a problem. They give her a kill order that if they can't rescue Lynn, that she has to turn around and kill Lynn.
One question, and this was something that was probably lost to time as the series progressed, but if you guys remember, there were 3 pods at the end of season 2. One had Khalil in it, one had the truth detector, the lie detector kid that already died at the beginning of the season, and the other one had Wendy. Now, me being the super awesome writer that I am, that meta that Buffalo Gal bought with her should have been Wendy.
Yes.
Where the fuck is Wendy?
Off on another script, but hopefully she'll come back. So now everybody's meeting together and the crew is about to roll out. I hope they get suits. I hope everybody gets a
Yeah, because I was going to say, Gabby, you got some suits to make before we leave.
Everybody suit up.
Dude, I made this food.
Like, I just met you, but I got this.
Now before we wrap this up, we gotta talk about the ending. So Khalil is what brought him out, but he finds out everything he's done. And Gamby breaks it down to him. He's like, you can't even touch him because his skin is poisonous. And he's like, he's pretty much a walking weapon right now. And he reveals to Jen, he's like, I can't be with you no more because, first of all, there's an animal in me. I'm a murderer. I can potentially hurt you. He's like, I'm not even designed to love you anymore.
He like Rogue.
It's Rogue and Gambit.
And he literally gets up and he leaves. But hopefully he will come back and just be part of the team.
They could have used him in Markovia.
But you know, it's one thing
I think he's gonna make a special appearance. Hopefully.
in this serious moment of all this, and you know, Jen's like, I lost my boyfriend again. Geodude's like, hey.
He was in the background.
I don't know if you guys heard it, but there was a song played in the background. It was like, oh, it's Mr. Stereo Girl. Now, before we wrap this up, there's a couple of key notes that we got to talk about. Who wants to go first?
So I do want to mention, like, so when Jefferson and Buffalo Gal was making the turns to pick the team or whatever to go to Markovia, it was really upsetting me because it's like, I don't know, Buffalo Gal wouldn't have anything on me because I'd be like, guess who on my team? Superman, Supergirl, Martian Manhunter, The Flash, Thunder, Lightning. Did I say Martian Manhunter?
Yeah.
Wild Dog.
We get two of them.
Exactly. We'll get two Martian
We get
Manhunters.
one is black, one is green.
Exactly.
Why would you bring Wild Dog?
Cause there's a point to this. Wild Dog, Black Canary, Sonic from Supergirl. I don't know that bitch name. Why do I need you? I can call any hero in the Arrowverse.
Because you know why? Because these shows don't talk to each other.
You right.
And he literally set the terms for that meeting. It was like he told Shining Knight, "No, you tell that bitch to meet me in this trap I'm gonna set."
Meet me in the trap.
So, what else would we like to bring up?
So I'm surprised you haven't mentioned this. Tobias. So first of all,
this pen real fast. I need this pen for what we about to discuss.
So first of all, two things. He talks to Jace. Good old Dr. Jace. Nice to see your old Crip Peep ass.
Like, for real, they need to put him on Wildin' Out for real. Because his disses be epic. So, fuck Jace. Yeah, he give.
So you know they did their little verbal sparring and whatever, and she was like, "Tobias, you think you got it all figured out, but they gonna lobotomize you pretty much. They don't. They just need your body." They
And
don't
then he
need
was
you.
like, "Ah!" And then it went to commercial. And I was like, "Oh no, Tobias."
So we get to the next point.
"I'll let you take it."
And Tobias is in a room with two nurses, one a white man and one a black man. And what he says to this black man is so offensive.
Wait. It came out of nowhere, like no one even said nothing to him. He was like, "Coon got boom, motherfucker."
I never trust a big lip. I was like
he dug deep in the bag for these.
Exactly.
Like, what else I got?
I think I heard boom cricket.
Like, wait, I haven't used this one yet. Oh, big lip, bug-eyed,
And
Like,
then,
curly hair.
Before, like, I had to go to IMDb, see Robert Townsend produce. So,
and then
see 3 curl pattern in your head.
homeboy was like,
damn.
"You know what I hate? Self-hating black. But you ain't really black, is you?"
Tobias, you know what? Tobias has been catching these things. He caught her from Lynn last episode, and he caught her from this random black
Do you
dude.
care? Do you really care?
No, I just-
Are you really concerned about Tobias? Like, they tried to make us be concerned when they was like, "You're getting lobotomized." Dun, 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 commercial. And I'm like, Tobias, I give a fuck.
It's like, no, whenever he gets his comeuppance, it's like Parmesan cheese on top of spaghetti. It's just an extra.
Yeah.
So that goes down. What else do we want to bring up?
I think that's it for me.
One thing I want to bring up, like I said, stellar writing, stellar execution, stellar acting. I thought this was like
Best episode of the season.
the episodes this season have been getting progressively better. The writing has been solid, which is more than I can say for a lot of other shows on the CW network.
We doing like real superhero shit now. That's why I like.
And I dig that they finally forming the Outsiders because we don't have to justify looking for Flash and Supergirl and all that stuff. We can keep it in-house. And I mean, we knew it was coming anyway, but now we can justify why we don't need to go talk to these other people.
Exactly. And my thing is, I'm glad that they don't go talk to the Flash because it would have been a sign of weakness, honestly. Had the show had to go, I need to go run to the Flash for help. It's like, yeah, but they've never ever come to Freeland, even though it exists here.
And
So-
Cisco knows of it.
Exactly.
So,
He just don't know where it is on a fucking
And
map.
if he's going on his travels, how he gonna get into Freeland?
and not just that, like
He'll get there conveniently when they stop all of this.
you know Freeland exists, but you don't know if there's a dome around it. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Honestly, like I said, great stellar episode. They need to keep it up. Hopefully the next week's episode will be even better.
Wayne Brady's on it.
It just got better. Oh, and I need the teleporting man.
Yeah, where is he at?
Yeah.
Because in this episode they was like, are the metas, like, how many metas do we got that can fuck with them? And they were like, we only got Gravedigger. That's gonna be Wayne Brady. And I'm like, where's the teleporting dude at?
He's like I think he got paid and left.
Yeah, he's a mercenary.
So he just comes and goes.
So, we'll see. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of the Just Us Review. As you guys see, we was a mixed bag this week. We had some shit and we had some corn. And obviously the cream came a little higher to the top on the corn with Black Lightning. Like and subscribe. Like I said, there's plenty more for us to do. We're almost done with Flash because we're at our breaking point, but we will be reviewing other things. And if there's something else you guys want us to start reviewing, just put it down at the bottom. Help us find more content to put on this show.
And in case you didn't know, all of the streaming shows, we actually do those on our Patreon. So check out the link.
As a matter of fact, we're going to put out a sample of one of those later. Probably with the Star Wars one. You're going to really like that one.
And don't forget too, it's February. We're putting out the Power of Color each day in February. We're going to be highlighting one black cartoon or anime character.
So there's plenty of content for you guys to watch. As you know, we do this for you. And until next time, peace.